Alrighty, I'm gonna give a little tutorial on what we talked about at back to school night. Here on the first page, we have my email, and this is a link to our third grade website. Please take some time, take a little look around. There's some information on here that's really helpful, and we'll continue to just build this as we move through the year. So we have the specials rotation right on the first page. This is the collective third grade back to school night presentation, which is pretty similar to what I'm doing now. If you slicked over to Gambardella, you have the link to learning updates. So we'll kind of keep track of some newsletters here and everything like that. We have our homework, which is our Ryan STEAM at home learning, what that looks like, calendar, all that information. We also have learning links here. We've tried to put in some really helpful things that would be beneficial for everyone's time. So this one is songs and raps that help practice the multiplication. And these are some videos on different charts that we use for addition and subtraction. And then down here you have some literacy, some STEAM links, multiplication, math facts, a math parent site as well. Okay. So if we continue to go, we have our Ryan mission statement, just continuing to prepare students to succeed in the 21st century. Couple ways to connect with us. We have an Instagram page, which is at Third Grade Ryan. Most people have connected to their student Seesaw journal, and then our third grade website as well. Something that's really important that we do in third grade is lots and lots of movement. We do a lot of movement in the morning, as well as throughout the day, and this really helps with focusing, planning, organization, memories. We learn a lot about the brain and different parts and what each part does for us, and how we can really work out those different parts of the brain. So Seesaw is a learning journal, and it is just going to showcase our weekly learnings, and a teacher and student can add to that. And it's all teacher moderated, so I approve posts before they actually go onto students' journals. We have a really big focus on social emotional learning and the zones of regulation, so kind of moving in and throughout these zones and how we do that. And each zone is acceptable. It's just how we choose to act when we're in there. So Miss Wibler comes twice a month. She's our school counselor, and she helps us learn about self-regulation. We have community meetings in the morning and afternoon when the day starts and before we leave. We have lots of safe spaces in the classroom. We do lots of mindfulness practices as well. And this is a really text-heavy slide. But I'll just give you a quick synopsis that there's 3 ways that we meet social emotional learning. One is through our Ryan Families, which is a kindergarten through 5th grade advisory model. So it's 12 to about 13, 14 students together with one adult. Kindergarten through 5th grade. Kindergarten will join our families in November. And we have the new curriculum called the Mind Up curriculum. And it's has really great, useful resources here. So you can find some links. If you click here, this will take you to the Mind Up website. And it gives you some background on Mind Up and its research-based practices. And there's a little bit more info here as well that kind of tells more in depth about what we do in this curriculum. And then that third part is that Miss Oivler comes twice a month to help our social emotional learning. Okay, some things that's different about third grade to previous years. This is really a bridge from primary to intermediate. Students really become more independent, really putting that knowledge into context to help them create more projects and access content. Really, you'll see lots of confidence academically and socially, emotionally, and we're really moving toward that self-directed advocating for learning. If you've been at Ryan for a while, you've seen this, but really this shift from traditional education to 21st century education. So some things that you will see: group work, collaborative work, students engaging in conversations with each other, lots of accountable talk, meaningful use of technology. We work through the innovation process. Students are up and moving around throughout the day. You will not see lots of worksheets, so you might not see a lot of things coming home because a lot of things are worked on in class. There will not be isolation, and students won't be in a desk sitting for most of the day. So our STEAM at Ryan is just really getting into that deep dialogue talking through our thinking, really a guiding student inquiry, taking risks, hands-on experiential learning, and then design thinking, which was created at the Stanford D School. So just take a look at that too. It's got some really great information on what we mean when we say design thinking as well. Alrighty. And literacy in third grade is done through a workshop model. So this is our new curriculum that we received last year. And so these third graders received it in second grade. So they've had an entire year of that. So we really connect reading and writing together. We set goals and students track their personal goals, frequent feedback and revision from teachers and peers. And we're doing whole group, small group, independent learning, read alouds, mini lessons, shared reading, word work lessons, and then guided reading and book clubs as well. And our math instruction, three main points of what we expect students to be in math, just perseverance in mathematics, really knowing that mistakes are critical for your growth and that there's more than one way to find a solution. We use Math Talks. Math Expressions is our district curriculum. We do lots of game-based learning, so that would be lots of games to learn concepts, not just worksheets. So we take more of an approach of guided math groups rather than just whole group. And then this really great site called UCube, which was created by a math professor, and she's got really lots of great strategies on how to get kids thinking about math. We do implement some project-based learning throughout the year, and this is when students work on a problem for an extended period of time. Some that we've done last year is how can we tell the story of our community? How might we create sustainable housing for those living in Boulder County? How might we make Ryan a better place? Our projects include reading, writing, arts, engineering. We add in a lot of field trips and in-house speakers into these as well. Some work habits that expectations from third graders, making positive appropriate choices, really having that growth mindset versus fixed mindset, really understanding that connections are critical to help us, and purposely and using whole body listening and really that culture of collaboration as we work through the school year. And then our at-home learning, reading is always a must, and we have this STEAM at home learning, which looks like this. And it will come home at the beginning of the month, and then just we do back to school at the end of the month. So this talks about kind of the purpose of that we're learning when we're not at school. Everything that we do is helping our learning and making connections. So we have created a little table here that has the different STEAM parts to it and some ideas of what you could do. And students will have the month and the year written on here. We will fill in the numbers. And then as they progress throughout the month, if they just can quickly record on there what they did on that day as well. Okay. And that's all. If you have any questions, please give me a call.